Welcome to Real Money Talks. Real strategies from the moneymakers and the world changers that you can use to make millions, keep those millions, multiply your wealth, and build your team. Here's your host, author of 5 New York Times bestsellers, money expert on Dr. Phil, CNN, CNBC, The Street TV, Fox News, and The View, Loral Langemeier.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Loral Langemeier's live weekly awareness update. Very happy to have you here on our live stream in Zoom, on Facebook, or any of the social platforms we join you on each week to share with you Loral's unique and life-changing conversation about money and your relationship to it. This week, we have 17 weeks. That's right, 17 weeks left in 2021. And we're talking a little bit about goal setting and what you can do to help achieve your goals. So, Loral, obviously, very happy to have you here. How are things going today, ma'am?
They're great. And we're going to shift this topic. I love that you're going to keep us on track about how many weeks are left in the year, because I think it's startling. You know, a lot of times you say, well, you know, tomorrow's September 1, we're just going to be into not even Q4, but 17 weeks sounds a little sooner. So I actually like that. And you'll keep us on our weekly countdown. For the rest of you that are out there, is you do have a lot to do. So we do have checklists. We have, for those of you in the big table and head of the table, we have specific wealth planning checklists, things you need to get done. For those of you in the 100K, we have things that you need to be getting done to be successful there. In each of them, in each of the programs and systems, I'm going to call them, we have things you need to do to be successful in each area. So we're going to talk about how we are going to add some more. We actually found an app, a really cool structure that I know is going to help you hold accountability to yourself. So I want to start the call, Thomas. Let's just talk about goals in general, like we said, and why goals are so critical. And not only the goals, because goal setting, I think for a lot of you, just like we did in January, we did the New Year, New You, right? So that's fabulous and awesome. But then after New Year, New You, it just kind of dwindles off and dwindles off. So where's the accountability? Right. I know for me, like to get back into after my accident, like I'm interviewing right now, some different folks for accountability on some health stuff I'm doing. Like if you don't have accountability, you tend to not do it. Let's be honest. I was texting with a few of my clients over the weekend and they were saying, yeah, I'm the procrastination queen. And I said, you don't get to call yourself that. Right. Because procrastination is usually a result of you don't want to do it or you don't know how to do it. So you just don't do it. And typically it's because you don't want to do it. So I love the live a procrastination-free life and just hire it. If you don't want to do it, hire it. You say, I don't have enough money, go make it, right? So there's no circle around this community or system that we built that you can have an excuse to not win. So I do want to start with some goal setting because with that and accountability, we get rid of the procrastination, we get rid of your excuses because a lot of you are using interesting excuses and you're holding on to dear life for them. And it's not serving you, it's not getting you a result. So go ahead and start with some goal setting. I know you have some questions here.
Yeah, I had this really good blog post that we found out there, and I want to ask you some of these questions, Loral, because I think it's going to be really helpful for people joining us today, learn more about your specific insight and approach to goal setting. So for you, leading the global conversation about changing your relationship to money, what's your number one tip for goal setting and or goal achievement?
So number one tip for goal setting and achievement is just like I taught in New Year, New You is there's many areas of your life. So yes, we are focused on your, I'm going to say career and development, right? So you put that in personal development and your money, but they're actually not the same because your money has its own path and its own plan to invest. But also side by side is your health, spirituality, your family, right? Your relationships. So there's other areas of your life that you do need to be looking at. So you do have, I'm not saying a balanced life, because I think all of you know, I don't like the term balance. Balance is like a scale and like this is balanced, which is to me stagnant movement versus I want you to have goals where you get to define your life in all those areas, have what you want in all those areas. The one tip I would say is don't have too many things you have to do to achieve it. So if you have, say, 7, 8 areas of your life and you say you have to do 10 things in each area, that's 70 things a week or 70 things a month or 70 things a day for God percent. If you actually set yourself up, then you're setting yourself up to be, into activities, tactics, I'd call them, that aren't possible to do in the time frame you have. So you got to have the we've talked about SMART goals in other parts of our program, and in some of my work actually write about SMART goals, right? Specific and measurable. So this is that measurable and realistic part, that you got to have some reality and some time frame to it.
What advice do you have for someone who's already gotten off track with their goals this year already?
Hit a reset button. Just don't give it any energy. Notice it. Maybe the only energy to give it would be notice why you're off track, what got you off track. And I just want to caution you to use that big cliche term that says, oh, life happened. Well, life happened to all of you. So what are you allowing that continues to get in your way? And I can say for a lot of people, especially you women out there, right? You're allowing a lot of your friends and family, the people who have opinions, but not really great advice or, proper goals in front of you. Like, you need to be coming here for money conversations, right? You need to be coming into the integrated wealth systems community, asking questions from how to make money. And by the way, those of you who say you have to make money, inside this app, we're going to program that every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, you're on fast cash calls. Until you know how to do fast cash, you have to practice. Call that the practice field. Then every 3 weeks, we have a game, and you get to play the game called Making Money at a Marketplace. And just like Logan's brilliant coach said one time, practice isn't mandatory, but neither is playing the game. So if cash flow is an issue, I'm going to take that as a metaphor. I thought it was great. Is if you're not making cash, and some of you whine about it and cry about it, you text me and say things aren't working. No, you're not doing the right things. Because we wouldn't be here this long after 20 years if what we're telling you to do isn't working. It works for too many thousands of people. You have to get in the flow of the marketing, the sales, the cash flow, and the system of that. It's got to become a sequence for you. And we have set this year up, as you know, Thomas, and I have Andrew out here, Steve's behind the scenes. We've set this up in a way for you because of the fast cash and the graduate marketplace, and every 3 weeks a marketplace to be practice in a game and practice in a game. I think Jay, what did Jay call it the other day? He said, the marketplace is like leg day, like lifting, I think he had some funny
legs day. That's hilarious.
Like legs day. And then you got the next 3 weeks to kind of like get all the lactic acid out. And then you get back and you get in the biggest game. So you all got to give it some attention. Money's just not going to come unless you just have a job you don't have to do anything for. It's just not going to come out of thin air. So I think when it comes to goal setting, it's about really being honest with yourself and holding yourself accountable.
And so final question when it comes to goal setting, because I know there's a lot of people are asking about the app that you've talked about. When it comes to setting goals, do you recommend setting big goals that people risk failing at reaching, or setting reasonable goals that they will easily get to or achieve?
Well, I'm going to go right in the middle. Is I don't like easily and I don't like unachievable, right? So in the gap analysis, right here, wrote about it in the Millionaire Maker, right? The gap analysis is the way that I want you to set goals, which is a good tension in the goal, meaning that it is achievable. It's going to take some effort. It's going to take some probably shifting in your behavior and what you're doing every day, but it is achievable. But if it's just, I can knock it down, then it's like a rubber band. There's no tension in it. There's no stretch. But I also don't want it to snap. So I want a properly set goal. And you'll know by the motivation you get up with in the morning, right? The goal, the gap analysis is actually from an adult learning theory process, which is about that, about setting proper tension in the goal so you have enough motivation, right? Because typically where you are in life is not where, like, you can look at a lot of areas, your health, and you probably come up with 5 or 10 areas of things you want to fix. And so where you want to go versus where you are, there's a gap. So the process of a gap analysis, we use it for money, but you can use it for anything in your life, is where you are and what you want, right? So if you're not making hardly any money and you say you want to be worth $10 million, the gap's too big. Like, it's not going to get you up and motivated. So when you have enough tension is when you get up in the morning and you feel excited about going out and getting that goal. Like, you have the motivation to do it. See, motivation is an intrinsic thing. It comes from within you. Now, you can get emotional and you can get excited from like listening to me or a Grant or Tony Robb. Like, you can say, oh, you motivate me. No, I don't motivate you. Motivation is something you drive within yourself. I can get you into a different state. I can have you think differently. I can give you some, inquiries, I call them, where it's challenging what you're thinking, it's challenging your behavior. I can tell you what to do. Go get 21 leads a day, get 2 sales a day, and follow up with every buyer from the past. You do that every day, you'll make some money. But again, so we're going to take these tactics that we know make money for people, and we're going to then build them into this app. So we could build our own app, but we found this app. Sharon Lecter's a big part of it. And I love direct sales. So it is, you don't have to do it if you don't want to do it. You don't have to do the business, but we are going to encourage our coaching clients to put it right alongside all the things we do inside coaching. Because the biggest thing that's missing is, that person, that thing in the app. It's going to be this little, did you do it? It's going to pop up like a notification about everything you need to get done. But guess what? It's a combined, it's a collaborative effort on the actions, because it's going to come from us that knows what you need to do in the money category, or in those categories of what you need to get done. And then it's going to come from you and what do you really want? And then honestly, it's going to keep you honest. And what will you do? Because you can say you want to do this all day long, but if you continue to do what you did before you met us, it's not going to work. And so I love the accountability of that. So no, I think that it needs to be a proper tension in the goal, so you feel motivated and excited about it.
Perfect. Absolutely. So talking about the app, I have a number of people in the chat box who want to learn a little bit more, because it sounds like at a core level to have success, you have to do a fair amount of automating or just putting procedures and operations in place to make it happen that way. Is that a fair way to say it?
Yeah. I mean, I call them some structures. Yeah. You have to put some process, like you said, in place. So you can't just set the goals and put them out here in the sky and some magical way it's going to happen. Right. So even in our Building, Leading, Protecting Your Business program, we talk about the strategies. What are the key things that you want to get done if you think just about your business and the monetization of your business? What are the key things? Like for us this year, spending a lot of money on the YouTube channel, right? Creating its own revenue stream, right? That's a strategy that we've been working on. We've been working on, and we've already, kind of perfecting the Facebook ads and all the online social media, producing leads, right? So you have different strategies that are going to produce. And then the tactics are everything that takes to get that done. So what I like about the app, and it's called ULA, actually, and if you want to put it in the Ask World.
I'll pop it in the chat.
AskLoral.com/ULA. It's just a very cool app where you can program the things that we've told you. So those of you in the 100K that need to get that 100K moving, you have the entire blueprint. So you look at the blueprint and you're going to load it into your app. So it's going to notify you on your phone through the app of the very, very tactics we tell you need to do every day. Right, 100,000, which is $8,333.33 a month, is not just going to pop into your bank account. There are certain very specific and sequenced activities that you have to do to create that. Those of you who've been to the marketplace, you know it. And sometimes you say, is there any new content around it? No, that's what we're going to do. I mean, you can get more sophisticated, many of you, right, where you're actually going to build it into Keep and build into, an automated system and, build it into your CRM and really automate things. Some of you aren't as automated at this point, so you're going to have to manually get it done, which I love the app because it's going to be reminders every day. Did you get your leads? And even if you're automating and getting your leads from online, are you checking every day that it actually happened? Is there a confirmation and a checkpoint? What? So really, when you do good goal setting and accountability, there's a system, there's a loop, right? To what you say you're going to do and a loop back to did it get done? And then it's constant adjustment. And I think for a lot of you, if you set a goal and it's not getting done exactly the way you say, notice where the gap is, where the difference is, and what you need to adjust. And I think the other thing too, Thomas, for a lot of folks, and I'm just going to say this is, give yourself a little permission, not a lot, because some of you will overtake this advice and you'll use it as excuse to, have more excuses. But there are some times where if things need to, you can reset. Now, I would say for you to reset in our world, you better be back to your coach. You need to be reaching back out to your coach and saying, is something wrong with what I'm doing before I hit a reset, and then do the reset with your coach. So actually I just made that up, but I'm gonna put that in because what I don't want you to do, especially you new learners that are within, say, 24 months of knowing us, you're not sophisticated enough about some of these money strategies to hit a reset button by yourself. because then some old weird behavior might get in, like, oh my gosh, I'm making money, I'm going to go pay off debt. No, you're not. No, you are not. So you don't want to hit a reset and do some ridiculous things that are hard to untangle without checking in with us. So I would leave the reset to the sessions with your coaches. Let's do it that way. So let's talk about it. Here, it's out here. Let's talk about ULA. I brought Andrew on. He is the one that has jumped in the farthest, completely built out. In my opinion, Andrew, I think you're really hard on yourself. You've given yourself so many actions. I don't know that they're physically possible to do. But you went for it. You built out the app. That's my commitment this week. And actually, jump on the plane and head to Georgia this weekend is to get my app, which is putting in the actions of my goal. So ULA, I'll give you a little backstory. July 3rd, just recently, Sharon Lecter called me, my financial mom, and said, you have to do this with me. And Sharon and I do just a few things together. We're not those people who do everything together. And she said, I've known these guys for 7 of the 10 years. It is an app that they've used in the coaching space in coaching organizations. And they put people in coaching programs in this accountability app called ULA, like an Ooh La La Life. And she said, you have to do it on July 7th. They're taking it to a direct sales company. So I joined immediately. I have my front line, and we're just kind of organizing my front line, and we're going to build a team, and we're going to actually put it right next to our coaching, or encourage every coaching client that comes in. It's $47 a month. It's no big deal, but it keeps you super accountable to the things you say you want, and specifically the things we're telling you that you need to do. And so we just see it as a pathway. You used it all by itself, it's great, but in combination to our coaching and to like our fast cash. And then when you leave the marketplace, we give you 35 things you have to do. Put those 35 things in. So Andrew's very technical and can work with you. Thomas is very technical, Steve. And so we'll help you get them into your app. So the very things we're going to tell you need to do, not instead of us building an app on our own, you'll have an app. If you want to do the business, do the business. I mean, everybody needs goal setting, and it doesn't matter which company you're in. There's no conflict, I see. And it's just a very cool, simple app. That's a system for accountability. So, Andrew,
so the really cool thing about it is it's dead simple to use. It just puts you in the mindset in the beginning. Like in the beginning, you create kind of your big goals, right? And then you have to pay attention to it and add, your, what did you call them? Your tasks, right? That will help you daily to get to all those goals. And it's super simple to use. And for me, like I always just jam in and start my day and I get a ton done, but who knows what I did, right? And that's the cool part about it, is it forces me to be accountable to checking in with it. And actually it makes it fun too, because when I accomplish something, I just go in there and click that I did it. And it makes it more fun, and it gets you in kind of the process of accomplishing things throughout the day, no matter how big or how small, and not just in, work, also with, relationships, friends, family, fun. Like there's 7 categories that it kind of forces you to get in the mindset of, these are all things that you need to focus on to have an abundant life in all areas.
Yep. And so describe, like, once you program it, well, first of all, he says super easy, right? To program. It reminds you throughout the day. How often would you look at doing a reset? Do you add, edit? Do you get a check off? Does it have
so there is a mobile app as well. Mm-hmm. So you can just keep it up on your phone. And when you get something finished, you just check it off your list. And you can share it on social, which makes it kind of fun too. You get to show off that you're doing all this stuff. But you get points, and like there's some gamification to it that just makes it fun, which is really important, I think, for most people. Like it can't just be work all the time, because you'll stop. Right? Like it's got to be, for me, goal setting apps period are a way to mechanically plug them into your life, right? And because otherwise you'll just forget about them. If they're on a piece of paper or whatever, like you get wrapped up in your day and then you go, oh, what did I get done today? Nothing that was on my list, right? Like I did a bunch, but it wasn't actually stuff I was supposed to do. And so like programming it, that makes it sound really hard. It's really not. You just set bigger goals. And they're not massive goals either. They're, just simple. Like you need to figure out a way to spend more time with friends, right? You need to figure out a way to have more fun. You need to figure out a way to, you have all your work stuff and that's field and that's a big part of your day as well. But I think a really cool part is that it, at least for me, it helps me to focus on the areas of life that I let fall all the time because they're just not that important to me typically. Like I like to work.
Pushed off. You know what I just thought of, because you said there's a fun social aspect is, inside our community, the Big Table has its own Facebook group. The 100K has its own Facebook group. It'd be fun for you guys to start sharing your goals and success inside of that. Also take the whole thing to MIT. And so as a group, you attach to the Facebook group of the Millionaires in Training. That's actually probably the better place because then it's more holistic and everyone can start sharing their goals. And people who aren't clients are going to say, how come you guys are rocking and rolling over there? It's like, well, because not only like we've already programmed what you need to do, but like Andrew said, and Thomas knows as a coach, is a lot of times, it's right here. Or, I can pull off, one of these little binders over here, right? It's here's your wealth cycle plan, right? It's sitting in this workbook. It's not sitting on an app or somewhere that you're walking around with it. So it's reminding you of what at one point in your life you said was important to you.
Yeah.
And probably the thing I like the most, because most of our clients are there, is you need income. You've got to make more money. And what you're doing every day, because you're so programmed to be an employee, is not what's going to help you be a darn good entrepreneur. So that constant prompting of, you got to get leads. You have to do your ask, tell, asks. You have to do this. I mean, it keeps prompting you throughout the day as a way of, muscle conditioning and getting some new muscles inside of what you're doing. Actually,
and like forming habits.
Yes, new revenue.
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
Hey, Steve, I see Jay out there. Jay has joined our group. Can he come out and chat with us? Can you pull him over? And I'm curious, Jay, what you'd want to say to people. Jay's going to use it not only for his Big Table experience, but he's also in another direct sales company where he has a big downline. But again, no conflict. He can bring them all over here, help them stay more accountable to the direct sales. So I want you to see that it's very flexible. Right? Jay, what would you say to the folks out here? What would you share with goal setting? It's great to have you here. You're muted.
Thank you, Loral. With goal setting, that's a big key to, a network marketing, is that you have to be consistent. You have to reach out to people. And it's a similar thing to, your structure and your sequencing here, that getting leads, getting sales, getting to a day. It's a bit different in network marketing as the industry is sort of, let's call it a taboo, maybe. I don't know. There's a lot of people who are uneasy when they find out it's network marketing. So there's a whole list of strategies that I've studied and learned, taking professional level courses in order to get around that. You can't just walk up to people and say, hey, join my network marketing. That will cause 9 out of 10 people will just be like, yeah, I don't do that. Right. And it's one of those things, as we say. And most people are like, yeah, like I ever wanted to be involved in network marketing, right? So it's not about, tricking people, but it's about showing them the offer, while they're open to seeing it. And so there's just different tactics, as we say, we have the strategies and then the tactics to get the point across and to get the shares through. And yeah, I've been looking at the ULA seems to really go in sync with the network marketing. However, there are, some people in network marketing believe they want to keep it as simple as possible. And so they're going to keep doing their simple system and they're not going to get involved in ULA. And what happens is there's different strokes for different folks. So I think that the professional people who've been in network marketing for, 30 years, they're like, no, they would pass on ULA, but all the new people are probably going to be like, oh, this is what I need, right? Because they need that sort of kick in the pants to like keep on their system. And, you have to, you plan the work and then you work the plan, right? So how are you going to work that plan? This seems like a really good way to do it for me. And then obviously the loop around aspect of the coaching, so you can essentially like hire your own coaches through the program, and it cycles commissions that way. So it seems to have a lot of power. And if people are getting into network marketing, talk to me. I'm with an amazing company. Our owner has taken 2 network marketing companies out of, I think, 11 have made it to $1 billion. He started 2 of them. That's Dallin Larson. I'm with a company called Viseo. And I joined because the supplements work so well for me. That's how I got into network marketing. It wasn't the other way around. So I started taking these things. It totally changed my life. Then I looked at the network marketing. I was one of those people who said, yeah, I don't do that type of stuff. And I looked at it and I looked more at it and it got my attention. I got interested. I examined the comp plan. And now I'm that's the way to go. I'm totally convinced.
What I love about the direct sales model is that if you work it, you get paid. If you don't work it, you don't get paid. So I love that part of it. And what I love about ULA is you can overlap it like Jay is with a different company. You can overlap it into real estate. For those of you who say you want to do real estate, you haven't put a contract or an offer in all month. Last I checked, the first thing I ever give my real estate coaching clients is you don't have to do the offers. You just have to get out and put on offers. Like I want you to put an offer a day and see what actually drops and what gets committed. Then you can decide if you want to do it or not. But there's a lot of ways that I see across a lot of industries parking this in. So there's the link. We wanted to share it with all of you that are out there. So Jay, thank you. Andrew, thank you. And you're gonna keep hearing more and more. I mean, it's not like we ever let goal setting go, but now that there's an app that we can attach all the accountability. I mean, do you know how many actions come out of just doing this workbook? Like, this is your wealth plan. Like, this is the reason you're here, is to do your entire comprehensive wealth plan. And there's a lot to do on it, right? It doesn't have to get done all at once. So you can program the app out to the next year. In this case, we're going to say 17 weeks. And for those of you who join, we'll have separate calls and we will be in MIT, whether you're in it or not, because whether you use the app or not, you all got to do the same things. You use the app to help hold you accountable to get it done or not. It'll be interesting to see those who have, the extra support getting things done more on time than others. For example, in the next 17 weeks, right? What needs to be on your checklist if you're not incorporated? You need to get incorporated or you will blow 2021. And the reason you need it done soon is because everyone in the government's behind. The other thing you need to get done if you're not incorporated, well, I'm gonna tell you, I'll just keep going on the incorporation. I feel like I beat the drum of being incorporated because with that, you can still apply for your SBAs and your EIDLs, right? They're still open. You can still go get money from the economic injury disaster loans. Those are still open. If you're not incorporated, you can't apply. There's just a lot of reasons. All the tax deductions we talk about. I mean, Jay's getting Canadian. He's getting a company into the United States because it's just a better tax strategy given all the chaos that's going on in the world. And even before then, a lot of our high net worth people had United States companies. So you've got to get incorporated or you'll blow 2021 for taxes. You won't be able to apply for an SBA, but like they have to go in order. Really working with Eileen to get your corporate credit, working with our team to get your database up and running so you don't have followers, you have a database, getting the 21 leads. I mean, all these things, instead of me verbally, reciting them every Tuesday at 2, we're going to start giving them to you on checklists. And then I'd pick up the checklist, cut and paste it, and put in the app, and then you put some dates to it so you don't miss dates. Ideally, you get your trust done by the end of the year, get your insurance fixed by the end of the year. There's just that base infrastructure that you want done so 2022 can really be built on a solid foundation. So don't miss the next 17 weeks and the things we're going to be talking about. And we're going to be bringing the different experts to this call just to reinforce why these things need to get done. Like why you need to get incorporated by the end of the year, why you need better corporate credit, which means then in a very micro way, I'll teach how to fix your credit cards, right? A lot of you are still operating I don't know how many of you, and I won't ask you, actually, I'm going to ask in the chat. And those of you out on social media, you can also put it out in the social comments. How many of you say yes if you still, we won't show this to the IRS, you still commingle a little bit, meaning you haven't gone out and got a corporate credit card because you just haven't got around to it. So you have 2 or 3 cards that were your personal and you've assigned one to the company, but it's really your own personal name and you're borrowing it, say, to the company. Now, that's okay for a minute or two. Scott could give you a legal resolution that would make that better and uncommingle it as long as you behave with it. But how do you do that untangling of the credit cards, especially in the beginning? Like Amy, I know you're brand new, by the way. Welcome, Amy. She's brand new, her and her husband to the big table. And so some of you, this is really new, and we're going to have to start untangling some of those things. And if you haven't done the basic one, which is go through your past credit card statements. And actually, I don't think I've even told you to do this, Jay, but all of you out there on a regular basis, for those of you that are in the beginning, where you don't use your credit cards very meticulously, meaning every time you go to the store, let's just say you're going to make a purchase, your one company's going to make a purchase, and your say real estate company's going to make a purchase. And you're going to buy 3 things because you went to Home Depot, but it's one's personal, one's for your operating company, because you might have bought some electrical cord or something in your office you need in your home office, and then you bought something for your real estate company. That's 3 checkouts, 3 credit cards. That is not one, and I'll worry about it later. So how many of you say yes if you still have this to really clean up? Like you gotta really clean up. I'm going to say your use of money. I'll keep it kind of broad. Creative financing. Yep, Michelle. People call it creative financing until you get audited, right? And it's just a check-in, but this is, again, you've got to keep checking in with yourself. And if you say you want it, at some point, you got to get really rigorous with yourself to get that fixed and get it done really right, which means you got to go out and get your corporation to get its own credit card. Believe it or not, I'm going to say it. I'll say it here on public broadcasts, and this will probably go out to, actually, it will go out to a podcast, is American Express, Discover, and Costco. And people say, Costco, yep, believe it or not, an executive level membership gives you access to a certain kind of card. And you can get those cards in your company name. And it literally will be the card with your company name on it, and it won't have your name on it, and it doesn't have to have, they might in the beginning put your social, you might have to put your social on for the first year or 2, but then again, be diligent, put it in the app, that's what I love about it. You can track this stuff and you'll put it in a calendar, make sure you get your social security number off your credit, your corporate credit card, and just put your EIN and TIN up for that corporate card. So lots of little stuff that we do here at Integrated Wealth in helping you get set up right that most people don't even think about. They'll just be like, oh, go get a card, go get a payment portal. And then there's a lot of questions. Like I know, like right now, there's a bunch of questions that I know you guys are helping with how to get Stripe set up or PayPal set up. And so all those little, what I call nitty gritty things are important. They're important to the baseline and foundation. So we're going to keep giving you some checklists as we head into our 17 weeks, Thomas. I love that you bring that back. I thought last week was 17 weeks.
I might have miscounted. It is officially 17 weeks today, 17 to change. And
it is the September 1st. So we have one more quarter. We will see a lot of you at the big table in Savannah on the, let's see, the 27th and 28th. And then it's Q4, which means you got 3 months to fix it all. And so that means just chunk at it. I mean, when I say chunk at it, you take this chunk this week and this chunk this week, and over time, it gets perfected and you work towards that plan. So we're excited about it. We're excited to be part of Sharon's team. Dave, the owner, gotten to know him very well. Great guys, love the company, love that it's just going to support our coaching. It's going to support you guys to get your goal. So if it makes sense for you, do it. You don't have to do the business if you don't want. It's totally up to you. We love it. And for those of you who are procrastinators, it's going to be good for you. All right.
And FYI, the app itself is $47 a month, and there's a 30-day money-back guarantee.
And if you call the office, because Thomas, you put that in, Andrew's actually working out of the office today. So just have Liz with the team take a message. If you have questions about ULA, and Andrew can call you back when he's back in tomorrow.
We do have help for those of you looking for entity assistance. Just call the office. Our team will reach out to you and help with that accordingly.
Oh, I got it. What you're doing. Yep, definitely. Yep. And then our office will just refer you out to Scott.
Mhm.
All right. So hope a lot of you decide to come and play and be accountable. Next week will be 16 weeks. And we will continue to give you exactly what we believe you need to be doing week by week by week. And the way you look at the checklist always, because some of you, you're never the same place, like never is a client group. I don't care if it's one, if it's 10 people or 100 people, you're all at different places and getting stuff done. So we give you a pretty broad checklist. And some of you, like the 35-point checklist after the marketplace, some of you have some of those things done. Some of those are still yet to be done. So those of you who are going to go get ULA, I would start with that 35-point checklist. And Steve, is the downloads section, it's outdated a little from the last marketplace, but it's still up where they could go get that 35-point checklist. Where can people go get that simply? And I would start looking through your 35-point checklist as your first checklist, because it is our beginning checklist for people right out of the marketplace of things you need to get done as the first things to program into ULA. Hello, Steve. So Thomas, maybe you know where it is. Where's the 35-point checklist? Is it pretty simply found?
Let me find that real quick. We'll put that in here. I was just responding to a question. Someone asked, will the 100K blueprint be in ULA? And I don't think at this point we've discussed putting that in there, but I do know that you want to have a lot of the curriculum and a lot of the teaching that we normally have represented on that piece of it.
Yeah, and what the way it's not going to be part of their thing. I mean, it might over time, I might convince them to get it done because this is really our thing using their system. So we're going to take the blueprints. We can make them into simpler checklists where you can just, copy and paste and put it in ULA. You do have to put it into your timeline, your goal setting, your tactics. So either way, whether it's, a checklist you're going to pull out of the blueprint or off the 35-point checklist, you have to put the actions into your phone or into your desktop. So, but we're going to give you the things to do. And then through our coaching, the timing to get them done in the right sequence so we can speed this up. Become a 3 to 5 millionaire, doodling around every day. You got to be pushing towards goals every day. And there's where you can go get the checklist right there, 35-point checklist. So thank you for that. And go ahead and put that over in the MIT group as well so people can see that. And when we post this through the podcast, let's make sure we put the ULA link in that 35-point checklist. It's a great thing that anybody can do and at least get started today with what are the right actions. And even if the people that are listening from a podcast or a different social channel haven't been to the marketplace, that checklist I'm going to say it's pretty general for anybody who wants to make money, what you need to be doing and how you need to be doing it every day. So take advantage of that. And we will talk next week. We'll be back on Ask Loral. And goal setting and year-end action planning will always be part of our theme. But we'll be answering other questions as well and talking more and more about real estate. It is a hot market. Thanks, you guys. Have a good day.
Thanks, y'all.
This is Loral. You've been listening to my podcast, Loral's Real Money Talks. If you'd like a conversation one-on-one with one of my team members, the easiest thing to do is call my office, 775-588-9200. Say, I would like a one-on-one with someone on the team. The other thing you could do just to go get some gifts is go to Loral.club, LORAL.club. Loral.club is a place where you can get a free ticket to the marketplace. You also can bring a guest to the marketplace, fill out a profile, and get a whole bunch of gifts that we really want to get some feedback. I want you financially literate. The biggest challenge people have isn't that they have a resistance to money. They just don't know about it. So let me help you. And you're here on this podcast, Loral's Real Money Talks. Thank you.
Thanks for listening to the Real Money Talks podcast. Your host has been Loral Langemeier, author of 5 New York Times bestsellers, money expert on Dr. Phil, CNN, CNBC, The Street TV, Fox News, and The View. Want to learn more about off-Wall Street investing, tax strategies, and multi-million-dollar business strategies? Visit liveoutloud.com/podcast for past episodes, show notes, and resources. For some special wealth-building gifts only for Loral's podcast listeners, visit liveoutloud.com/podcast gifts. Do you have a burning question for Loral? Visit askloral.com to submit your question, and it may just be covered on a podcast episode. So stay tuned and be sure to subscribe to get new episodes every week.